'em when they're low, kick 'em when they're down.
Kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em all around. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Renegade podcast. I'm your host, the Dashing Rogue, and I'm with my frequent psychic, Artistic Layman.
Are you with really the last of the dodos? Yes, I'm really the last of the dodos.
Jeez. The last of the dodos. That is a title. That is a title right there. I'm surprised, if dodos were a people, they'd probably be like the most desired people on earth. Like people like it when you're the last of your tribe. You ever notice that? That's like a great way of getting laid.
But don't let them fool you. It's only a marketing pitch because they're always waiting in the winds to jump you.
Oh, dude, it really is. So this whole Jack Murphy saga is continuing.
Still?
It's still going. It really is. And it's getting to the point where, everybody and their dog is talking about it. I would link it, but I'm not going to link it because the individual who owns the channel, Tree of Logic, she doesn't like people linking stuff out of context. So you could go search up her information if you want. She basically did a whole analysis, and Tree of Logic, for those of you who don't know, she actually is a dom. She's a dominatrix. So she has a very unique perspective on this whole Jack Murphy thing. I'll let you go. I just go look at that.
So she is a degenerate, but not as much a degenerate as Jack Murphy is.
Yeah. She's not nearly as much of a freaking degenerate as Jack Murphy is. And Jack Murphy, my friends, is a freaking degenerate.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he's a degenerate, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you who don't know what song that was the Eagles. That was Dirty Laundry.
Fitting.
And
Very fitting.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It absolutely is. I mean, I honestly, I was classically trained. I grew up on Eddie Van Halen, even though I'm a millennial. And that's mostly because my mom and my dad were the ones who, they got to pick the music. So they raised me in the classics. Eddie Van Halen, Fleetwood Mac, freaking Creedence Clearwater Revival. So I know it's not just because it was used in the Marvel movie. I actually like it. I have good taste. I promise, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you.
But still, I can't help but feel... I mean, I know Jack is basically asking for it, but I feel like we're kind of beating a dead horse into oblivion.
Well, here's the problem, though. Again, people don't understand this, is that if Jack just admitted it, said, yeah, I was a cuck, he does the whole freaking... what is it? The whole Linkara shtick. Yes, I made porn. Yes, I have fetishes. Can we move on, please? Like that's sort of the issue.
Because people would linger on to it, but at least he owned up to it, and people could just admire him, respect him for it.
Yeah, well, not even respect him, but acknowledge it for what it is. Linkara is a sexual degenerate, and let's move on. Because that's sort of, there's only so many times you could say Linkara is a fucked up person, right? Or whoever is fucked up person. But Jack, the thing about Jack is that he has to maintain the persona. He's in it to win it at this point, right? And so one of the things that I got fucking pissed off about is that he's basically said, I'm uncancelable. I'm uncancelable. You can't stop me. And one of the things he told me was, how do you think I got to where I'm at? I said, because you charged $999 a month to fucking join your little liminal order shit. Which, by the way, I at this point, I'm just gonna flood the liminal order hashtag. Because let's be frank, no one's gonna talk about it except me. If you just kept fucking flooding it, there's no way you could stop me from using hashtags. There's no way you could do it, Jackie. But the thing that just upsets the fuck out of me is that I think you might be not wrong about this. Like, somebody tells me that Jack is the type of guy who gets dirt on people, and it comes out that, let's say, something bad happens to him, no one talks about it. Ethan Ralph of the Ralph Retort, he actually was, screen sniping Tim Pool at one point. And apparently Tim Pool was on, Jack Murphy was on Tim Pool, and everybody and their dog was wanting to talk about it. Everyone wanted Jack to talk about this whole freaking article. And as you know, that the Streisand effect is a very, very real thing. So I found out, hey, Beckloff, how you doing? More from the cuckoldal order, am I right? Yes. 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 And it's good. And I don't know how much about this is legit, or how much of this is just people looking deeper and deeper into it. Because one of the things I talked about is that there's going to be a rise of right-wing victimhood culture.
No, please, no. Can we not?
Well, we are, because here's the problem. You know, it's cool to be oppressed by the man. It's cool to get maced at a riot for just wanting to have freedom of speech, or at least fighting it's getting to the point where we have to say free speech. And I say, well, what about consequences? You know, if I go up to Jack Murphy and I say, how you doing, cuck? I'll probably get smacked. I'll probably get in a fight, even if it is true, right? There are certain things you just don't fucking do.
I mean, punching people in the face is one thing you don't do.
Well, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, that's a natural consequence, isn't it? I mean, if I went up to someone's guy or girl, I should say, went up to someone else's woman and started hitting on them, you know, like, hey, babe, let's go. This is zero go with the hero. I'll probably get fucked with. And I'm asking for it. There's certain things you ask for. But here's the problem. You have a bunch of really just reprehensible, degenerate people. And I'm not using it in the sense of like the Vox Day reprehensible. I'm talking about actual people who are just shit people. They think that because they wear a MAGA hat, or, you know, say Trump is awesome, where I voted for Trump, that absolves you of all other personal flaws. It doesn't. It really doesn't. So one of the things we're going to talk about, because I have two other articles that came up from Jack Murphy's own blog. Because now, like the Streisand effect, people are going to continuously look deeper and deeper into his shit. Now, that being said, how many people have looked into Rush's stuff? no, real talk. Because here's the thing: there are certain things that, you know, if we go into people's history, we will eventually find something that you fucked up on. You were young, whether it be, you know.
Well, I mean, this is Rush V we're talking about.
Well, yeah, it is Rush V, but here's the problem, though. Like, how much of this is just his opinion and it's hyperbole, and how much of this is actually shit he did? Do you understand what I'm getting at here?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, last time we were on here, we talked about how Jack Murphy apparently was, you know, going after little girls. He talked about, if I could pull it up, let me pull up the full tweet in its context. Let me pull it up here. This is from the Cultivating. By the way, those of you out there, you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on all my alt media information. And here you go. Here's the article for those of you who want to know more about. This is from the Cultivating Sexual Energy, apparently. So one of the things he talked about was the thing that got a lot of people in questions is, he says, I had fucking sex slaves, little girls, and tied them up. Feminists seek me out to fuck them like the patriarchy, and yet I just sent my 15-year junior girlfriend to bang Matt from Tinder. Why? Now, there were certain things that people started looking deeper and deeper into this stuff, and here's one of those that was taken from Twitter. And it actually was taken from Tim Pool's show, and it was from, I believe, March 3rd of 2021. Play it, Luke.
What's this?
Yep. This is him talking. This is him taking not only to say out of context, but it's basically him acting weird, and now we have the context of what the fuck he is.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Cannot have a healthy, productive, fruitful relationship with a woman 10 years younger than him.
I didn't say that. I just think
wait, back up.
A mature, established 35-year-old man cannot have a healthy, productive, fruitful relationship with a woman 10 years younger than him.
I didn't say that. I just think
you just said they were immature and they shouldn't be matched up.
22.
Okay, 22, 23, 24.
Look,
women
they're
mature way
10-year-olds who go
more
to college.
Women mature way more quickly than men, dude.
That's
way more quickly.
It's preference.
At age 15, they're basically women already, right? And it's like men hit their prime in their 30s.
35.
Why wouldn't a man in his prime latch on to a woman in her prime? Why not? That seems the most logical thing possible.
That's what's happened for millennia.
Millennia.
Older men would marry like 15-year-olds.
And the societal,
the key, pause it for a second.
Dating a younger woman.
It is true that you know, child marriage was a thing, but the key word was marriage, as in you're going to basically give your life and your love and including your property, by the way,
it's not
to
quote,
this 15-year-old girl.
Yeah, it's not quote pump and dump as a PUA.
Exactly. So, you know, I have a little bit more respect in that regard, at least in the time of antiquity, because there were certain social norms and how should you say it, certain social norms and regulations that existed.
Not to mention, not to mention, you try to have as many kids as possible with only the limited time you have.
Yeah. So, you know, well, again, follow the laws in your country, and I think that crib rape or crib napping is fucked up, but he's not wrong in that regard. Now, that being said, follow the laws of your country. Keep playing.
Is just jealousy. It's jealousy. Because, as you said, every man in the world wants to date a 22-year-old woman.
According to OkCupid data.
According to OkCupid,
I don't know.
Your own two eyes, all of history, every piece of
But I'm
literature,
citing
every
this on
book you ever
purpose
saw.
because it's not your opinion. OkCupid actually tracked
No, I know.
all the messages, and they found no matter how old the guy was, from even younger guys.
Why do you think that is?
Always mentioning 22-year-olds.
Why do you think that is?
For I think evolution, like biological reasons.
Right, exactly right.
And what OkCupid found was that
I always hate that stupid explanation.
Yeah, studies show.
Yeah, and evolutionary reason. No, because she looks pretty and beautiful.
And at the same time, she's young, dumb.
Yeah, I'm also not taking into like when a man looks at a beautiful woman, he's not taking into account. Oh, this woman's going to carry on my genes. No, I see a beautiful woman I want to have. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'll tell you, I'm the kind of guy who, again, maybe it's because I have a fucked up background, but I'm always the guy who just wants somebody to be there for, somebody to take care of me when I'm sick, somebody who I could shower and give, somebody who I could fuck the brains out of and have my kids. That's ultimately when I'm there. I'm not a romantic. And a lot of the ways it got kicked out of me. Welcome, Benny, by the way.
It's always so dumb though. Like the evolutionary explanation for everything is always so short-sighted because evolutionary explanations are how people justify things like communism and socialism. Like it's the next, it's a scientific justification for some certain bad behavior.
Oh, dude, and you can even see that be played out in like the racial terms. Like, oh, the reason the Jews are so evil is because this, or the reason this race is superior from that race is because of this. Again, like I've told you, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Don't trust the Poindexter. When the Poindexter tries to pull out the science card on you, because the science card is basically the race card at this point. Oh, well, the studies say, the science says, well, who gives a fuck? Because at this point, whenever they start trying to play the human breeding card, and I say human breeding, not eugenics or dysgenics, because they're the same thing, depending on what you want. And ultimately, what a lot of these guys try to do is they try to say, well, the science says that I'm the most attractive. Like, I think, what was it the other day I saw? I think it was...
Good luck. Good for you. Find a girl.
No, it wasn't just that. I think it was like, there was this article out that was apparently saying women prefer smaller dicks. Women statistically prefer smaller dicks.
Really?
Yeah. So the question, they say science says women prefer.
How did they find this out?
I guess they did double-blind studies or something. The point is that lies, damn lies, and statistics, as Mark Twain would say.
The only way that the woman would know that is she's had access to a lot of men.
Yeah, and even then, I don't know, was it the big guy who fucked her and then took her V card and she has like that primal fucking, I don't know, it hurts, I'd rather go small from now on, I don't know. I don't know what that is, but the point is, don't trust the science. The science, and here's the thing about science, is that the whole reason why science is so cool and so awesome is that you all can see and you can replicate your results. Most of these social sciences, you can't replicate their results. So trust but verify, and remember, lies, damn lies, and statistics. Keep going, Luke.
Very disgustingly, in my opinion, men are actually attracted to women much, much, much younger than that, but would not want to have a family with someone younger than that. So men choose 22 as the equilibrium between mental and physical maturity.
Bingo.
Yeah. It's yep. Now, what does Jack have to say?
There's nothing
Little kids.
wrong. Well, little kids, of course, dude.
Well,
but
that's hyperbolic on my part.
Right.
Like,
but there's literally
teenagers.
nothing wrong with seeing a woman of fertile age and thinking she is an attractive sexual partner. But like acting on that with an 18-year-old woman is a completely different story. But there's nothing wrong with seeing an 18-year-old woman, and being like, oh, she's attractive. Of course she is. She's in the
I'm
prime
not
of her
talking
beauty.
about 18. OkCupid data said men want women younger than that.
Okay, well,
And that I find creepy.
yeah, it is.
Society has rules. Like,
It is creepy today, but guess what? It wasn't creepy until just recently.
No, Jack.
No, Jack. There was an implicit notion that you were going to marry the girl. You weren't going to wham, bam, thank you, ma'am her. In fact, if you did that, you probably would be hunted down by Farmer John with his shotgun. And rightfully fucking, I would help them. I would have joined a posse with him. Said, yeah, let's get a posse and hang Jack Goldman. That's his real name. He actually calls himself Jack Goldman, I believe. Or is it Goldstein?
Is it? I forget.
I don't know. The point is that people are bitching and saying, oh, he's a Jew. Of course he's a degenerate. No, he's not. He's just a fucking degenerate little cuck. And right now I'm going to prove it.
I don't know.
All of humanity, all of history, all of time.
I still think it was creepy.
Yeah.
I think a lot of past cultures did a lot of really creepy, gross stuff.
Yeah, that's using science to justify your position.
That's exactly what it is. The replicatability crisis. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that, Gainston. That's a big problem in science right now, and it should be, because the whole purpose of science is consensus. We could all see the methods that you use to get what you're at. Yeah, Goldman. That's his name, Jack Goldman. Which, again, I have nothing against.
We don't.
I have nothing.
We're not going to go down that rabbit hole, are we?
We're not going. No. That's for Nick Fuentes and the rest of those fucking weirdos to go after.
Yeah, no echoes here. No echoes here.
No, it's not even that there's no echoes so much as I just don't care. Like, again, I'm focusing on the man's deeds,
or no echo hatred allowed here. That's it.
Exactly. The echoes are safe from all. They're safe from a wrongful prosecution. Okay. But one of the things we're going to do, and maybe I might have to become a judge. I might actually have to get myself a judge uniform, or have Luke put me in a judge uniform and have me have, the cases are real, Judge Dash it. I don't know. But one of the things we're going to talk about is this particular article that was written by Murphy. It says, do feminists have rape fantasies? Answer, yes. Everyone has rape fantasies. The question is, what do you fantasize about? Are you fantasize being domed or not domed? Are you fantasizing just like, oh my God, that could have been horrible. That guy on the bus who smells like piss.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really has a quote unquote rape fantasy, especially if they want it.
There's, what is it, the whole Harlequin romance genre? Like the pirate taking was it anything with Fabio on the cover art is basically, that's the closest thing you get. And even then, again, it's courtship. It's not just random sex. It's courtship half the time.
It's a romanticism of a helpless maid being taken by a strong, strapping man. Yeah.
So I'm gonna read this. So let me get my Mountain Dew with me, so in case I have to wash my mouth out.
Should I go with this article here?
Oh yeah, we're gonna go with the article.
Do feminists have rape fantasies? Back in 2015.
Fucking 2015, great year. It was right at the height of the meme war. Or the meme war 1, I should say.
Let's see.
The root of feminism's unhappiness these days is with the stubborn defiance of desires innate in their DNA. Their insistence on idealizing the male at the expense of the female has led to the breakdown in the sexual marketplace, fall of marriage, and rise of divorce. These trends mirror declining female happiness over the course of several decades.
I'm sure no-fault divorce has something to do with that.
Oh, dude, honestly, I wish we could just get rid of divorce and say you're stuck with it. You should have been more fucking honest. Because, the real... Stay together for God, but more than ever, stay together for the fucking kids. Please keep, there's nothing more damaging, let's say, to a culture than divorce for the kids. Seriously. Let's continue. Feminism built an unsolvable dichotomy within women, resulting in an ongoing internal torture. Much like a transgender, he says, they are trapped acting in a way that doesn't reflect who they are on the inside. As a group, they demonize the essence of their nature, devaluing roles like mother and wife, and in its place, the jointly decided that the men's work and a man's world were ideals. They're ironically hosted the idealized male on the man triumphantly as the goal of their revolution, rather than champion their own comparative advantages, they set impossible standards to achieve. Now, this was sent to me again. Here's the thing: just like how Roosh V would have been targeted just for being Roosh V, how much of this is people just finding out that POAs are fucking cancer? like no, real talk. Like, how much of this is just Jack Murphy being a cock, and how much of this is Jack Murphy just being Jack Murphy, being part of the fucking manosphere? Because he started bashing the manosphere. All right, and there are certain people out there who I like within the manosphere, but there are certain people I just don't like. Again, he didn't pay me for this. He probably should. Aaron Clary, go look him up if you want. If you want career advice, go talk to him. You pay him money, he'll give you the advice. Simple, upfront, cheap, and whatever you want. And if you're not smart enough to ask the question or look into his back catalog, goes back to like 4 or 5 years almost, I'd say at this point, maybe even 10. I don't know.
With that said, I must play his intro now.
Oh yeah.
If I can find it.
There you go. Cosmic Radio. He's an obvious grifter who feeds off men of low self-esteem and has no steady moral guidance himself, Cosmic Radio says. Yes. I believe, well, let me just say this about moral guidance. That's great for you, but in a culture war, if the guy is willing to do what you're not willing to do, or whatever, whether it be ball field, battlefield, locker room, whatever it might be, he has an advantage of you. So until we either, all basically are wasps, and I say wasps, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, or we all are on the same page morally, you're gonna encounter people who are not gonna see the same way as you. So I'll let your mileage may vary on that. Now that doesn't mean you don't try to strive for justice, try to strive for good. But ultimately, yeah, I agree. He's a grifter. A lot of these people are grifters.
But not this guy.
Howdy, lieutenants and economists. The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com. Yeah, I am going to charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Yep. Go subscribe to him. I've gotten more advice from him than I have from any other person.
Much less from Jack Murphy.
Oh yeah, dude. I am not going to join Jack Murphy's Little Order. Why would I want to join it? For $90 a month? Are you insane? Like
$90 a month, huh?
$99 a month. Almost $100 a month. I mean, that's like half my rent. The fuck is wrong with you, Jack? Okay, rather than they're champions their own competitive advantages, they set impossible standards to achieve.
Now must always act like men. They are confused when confronted with the dynamics of sex. When we take off their clothes, the differences are obvious. When our bodies come together, the differences are even more pronounced. What stimulates or arouses doesn't seem to line up with how feminists want to shape the world.
What feminists deny is the healthy, vigorous sex can and does involve violence and aggression. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, he's getting closer to a power dynamic that the Manosphere always talks about, so I guess.
Well, there is a power dynamic, and a lot of it boils down, and a lot of it's Marxian in nature, because a lot of these Marxists, they thrive off of it. They want that type of crap.
Of course, they want the power dynamic to justify their toppling of it, because they believe that any power dynamic is an injustice. What
men goes willingly to brunch willingly, let alone plan one? A gay man, I would say. Like, there are a lot of people out there who say that Jack Murphy is bisexual, and I'm willingly. Yeah, I know, I agree with you. If it's a company brunch, I might. If it's something that I can avoid, I might, depending on what they're selling. But at the same time, I mean, it really does depend. It depends. Like, I will never plan one. Okay? I'll call it a lunch.
How do you plan a brunch?
Well, you basically have, I'd imagine you have to do it somewhere between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., I guess. So, like, you have a 2-hour window, so that's a good question. How do you plan to brunch?
Like, isn't just like, I don't really plan every meal I have, so don't you just go somewhere and eat?
You just go somewhere, like, I had my friend from church, we went out and had coffee. I mean, is that brunch? I mean, technically, with all the food they have at the coffee shops, like the stuff they heat up, right? At like Starbucks or Pete's Coffee, that's technically brunch. Mercenaries are like grifters. they serve whoever pays best, but they perform their job well. Well, even then, like I wouldn't agree with that. Like some of these grifters have no loyalty to fulfilling their contract. Like if I was contracted to take out Tay Spaghetti, let's say the tables have turned and I have to go hunt down Tay Spaghetti, you better believe I'm gonna fulfill my contract. But even that, because that's how you get repeat service. If I go out and I get told to take out, let's say, Ben Shapiro, I have to go drop off one of Tay Spaghetti's books to Ben Shapiro to troll with him, right?
Yeah, Machiavelli actually commented on this. Like, yeah, mercenaries are very efficient, but you shouldn't rely on them because they're not very loyal. Because you have to have some military support from the people you rule over.
Yeah, and like even Tyrion Lannister, which apparently he's bashing people who like Game of Thrones as well now. he really did like. Yeah.
Oh, why did you have to speak, sir?
Because
you want the best things on the show. Why did you speak?
Why did you have to? These actors think that because they study Shakespeare that makes them smart because they could outperform you on the stage. Therefore, they're better. Be warned, however, they lack loyalty. They do. I know exactly. But we're gonna continue. All right. So they have natural tendency towards dominance, and women to passivity and submission. For a feminist who has rejected the polarity and embraces sameness, this presents a paradox. The cognitive distance between her chosen dogma and the urge to get choked during sex is painful.
False dichotomy, party of one.
Yeah, exactly. I assure you, behind even the most ardent feminist facade is a deep desire to be dominated and even degraded. Their consent refrains otherwise belie the underlying self-hate. But fear not, there is a solution. Rape.
I'm sorry, I can't wait for you to say it.
Rape. I'll repeat that. Rape, rape, rape. This is the type of rape culture they're talking about. He uses rape he's going to use rape in such a weird way. It's going to be like Tumblerette levels of like mental gymnastics. Yeah. Continue, Luke.
Although it's also inversely true that feminism created its own rape culture, because if they didn't create dynamics between the sexes, maybe people like Jack Murphy wouldn't be so deluded to make these kind of articles.
Well, not quite rape, but rape.
Okay.
The kind of rape a man who loves a girl commits. Rape conducted under the auspices of consent. Rape safe enough to allow the feminist to begin to claw her way back from the intensity. You see, rape is the best therapy for the problem. Feminists need rape. Oh, dude.
And the thing is, in the mind of the feminists, all sex is according to some feminists, sex is technically rape. So it's kind of true how
I always thought sex was power.
Yeah, I think it got to that weird point where when the manosphere and the men going their own way was a kind of a thing, there was this kind of feminist notion that all sexual intercourse is technically a power dynamic and therefore is a form of rape. And so every woman through a very sexual encounter had to consider whether or not she was being raped or not.
This goes back to like Lilith and Adam. Yeah, if you know the whole like Kabbalah, not Kamala, but Kabbalah, right? The whole Kabbalah thing and the notion of that Adam had two wives. Eve was not his first wife. His first wife was Lilith, and the whole argument for why Lilith left Adam essentially, and why they got into a fight and why she became a demoness is because she apparently wanted to be on top, and she wanted to be Adam's equal because she was made at the same time, right?
But she was equal.
She wanted to be because she was supposed to. Again, the notion that if you're on the bottom as opposed to being on top, right? There's so like if men are not on top, then women by definition must be on top, right?
So the Kabbalah, she was kicked out because she wanted to be dominant over the man.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
Before the fall.
So this is essentially saying there are two human females out there that are crazy. One is basically Eve, because she's a crazy woman just by their nature, and then they have fucking Lilith.
Were they both made from his ribs?
No, Lilith was made from soil as well.
Oh.
So that's why she's equal.
Oh. Okay.
So that's the note. That's the reason why she basically rebelled and supposedly rebelled and became the night demoness that tempts men and kills babies.
That's weird.
Cosmic Radio said, I have a GF try to walk me through this once. I had to tap out and say, this darkness was too much whammon. I agree. No, I agree with you. If they have to talk you through it, and again, this is where I say, how much of this is actually Jack Murphy and how much of this is just the manosphere being the manosphere talking about shit.
Yeah, your girlfriend had to talk you through it, Yeesh.
So let's see. When a man and a woman tap into the power of rape, they connected to the fundamental truth about the two sexes. We can kill you.
Kill you. What?
Is that a link? No, it's not.
No, it's a. But we don't want to, nor do we want others to. So
Can
we
you
set
put
up
Slanesh? Put Slanesh on. We need Slanesh.
like the original, like the Slanesh or the edited Slanesh.
One surprise me.
I'll try to find one that the Slanesh is. Please continue.
But we don't want, nor do we want others to. So we set up a system of institutionalization, this concession, and many others that followed. In just a few years, men found themselves apologizing for spreading their legs on the train, which is like the link to the whole article about man spreading. Even some have even been brainwashed to join and emasculating themselves to the point of effectively becoming neutered. The further away you are from as a potential rapist, the less desirable you are, because on a purely physical level. When you rape a woman, you remind her of the man she wishes you were.
What?
They adore you for it. Feminists especially.
What?
In fact, it saves their lives. It is our duty as men to save feminists from themselves. Therefore, I'm offering rape to feminists as an olive branch.
I'm pretty sure he's confusing rape with just passion, isn't he?
Well, this is going back to the whole notion of what is love, right? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me, right? I mean, no, but like, what is love? There's love of nation, love between a man and a woman, love between two brothers, love between classmates, love between countrymen, love between soldiers, love of let's say, junk food. They're not all the same. Like in the Bible, in the ancient
this is
Greek,
rape we're talking about. This isn't love.
No, maybe it's love of rape.
Oh. Love of violence and force and control and aggression. Oh, that's great.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, Slanesh, I'm telling you, he's a degenerate. We know that Jack Murphy is, and again, I'm going to send you more of information. Here you go, Luke.
Can you
imagine?
I sent you that link. So you can imagine Jack Murphy kneeling to this.
Yeah, he's kneeling before the train. But by the way, Slanesh it stands for She Who Thirsts in Eldar, and Space Elf. Okay? She Who Thirsts, and she was created by rape, by the way. Oh. She was created by a giant orgy of dark elves having sex and she was birthed by the Eldar basically wanting a goddess of rape.
Ooh.
Even though he's considered the Prince of Pleasure and he is a hermaphrodite, so he's basically a Fuda. Just to let you all know what that is, you could Google it yourself.
Too much.
Yeah, let's come together over consensual rape and melt away our disputes through terror-driven mascara.
That's a contradiction in terms. Consensual rape is a contradiction in terms.
This primal energy is like a lighthouse signaling from a shore. The storm clouds of feminism skirting our common solution. We must zero in on this light and follow it to the truth. The problem we face is that many feminists don't believe consensual acts between adults are okay. Some even think those consenting to rape and violent sex acts are suffering from a veritable sexual Stockholm syndrome, where the women are sexually terrorized. Their writers and thought leaders demonize consensual sex acts as a disguise for the act of sexually forcing a woman against her will. Choke your way to the cure. I'll repeat that. Choke your way to the cure.
Or for, what's it say?
Or for replicating the very masculine power dynamics used to perpetrate women's oppression. And because the rough sex is reinforcing the legitimacy of the power imbalances outside the bedroom, and so forth.
And thus, choke your way to a cure.
Choke your way to the cure.
This is like the worst. This is like a terrible, either something between a terrible romance novel or a terrible porn plot.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's possessed by Slanesh. Slanesh is a real dude. We have a world leader whose sigil for his Eurasian Economic Union is the fucking chaos sigil from Michael Moorcock's, fucking Eternal Champion Elric series. I'm not joking about this. Is fucking real. And of course, I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is going on, right? Like, we're living in some very interesting times. Gameson says Jacob Frank G. Murphy of the Liminal Orders and the Liminal Order of Salvation through Sin Branch Program. I guess, maybe. Jack Murphy is digivolved form of Maddox. Maybe he is. I mean, Maddox. Yeah, I think there is some truth behind that.
Before we continue, let's play what chaos is in the Witcher world.
Okay, let's hear what
I want to hear. Witcher's fight stems from chaos, from actions aimed at disturbing order. For where evil spreads, order cannot be established. Instead of the light of wisdom, the glimmer of hope, and the glow of warmth, darkness ensues. And in darkness you find nothing but blood, fangs, and claws.
Chaos isn't the pit, Luke. Chaos is a ladder.
Of course.
Binger told me that.
A lot good that did him, though.
Well, it could have been worse. Could have had his throat cut by a 12-year-old. Or like, how old was she in the fucking film? I can't remember. I know like Arya was like, what? Like she was 15 when the fucking show began. And then like her character aged up, I guess. I don't fucking know.
I mean, how much time I don't know how much time has lapsed in the show. I didn't really follow the show at the end.
Dude, I just watched it on YouTube. Like I stopped pirating it back in the fucking day. I was like, I don't give a damn. I'll just watch the highlights on YouTube. Just watch whatever the hell it was. Like, I guess this video game explained or something like that. No one really watches movies anymore. I mean, I watched The Matrix, actually, The Matrix 4. And it sucked.
I tried to watch it. I was able to see the opening clip of it. And the girl, the blonde-haired girl, I guess what she is, she's too muffled and she's too soft to understand. So I couldn't understand a word she was saying.
The blonde-haired girl? What the fuck?
Oh no, the blue-haired, dyed-haired girl, whatever.
Oh, the Hapa chick, the girl who I actually think she's kind of cute, to be honest.
Oh, she's pretty, but the thing is, I couldn't understand a word she was saying.
She is pretty, Luke. She is very pretty. No, but in all honesty, the biggest problem with the Matrix was that. Like, I want to know why the fuck is Morpheus a program now? He's a program. And again, 60 years have passed in the game. Or in the movie.
He was never a program to begin with.
Yeah, so how the fuck did he become a program?
Did the Matrix create a program like him?
No, they're trying to justify why Morpheus is not, they couldn't bring back Lawrence Fishburne, right?
Oh, is that all?
They could have just said Morpheus died. He died of old age, or he died a happy man. He went to sleep. He didn't wake up. That's all you had to do, and you could have said, okay, there's no Morpheus now. But no, we have this other guy. This I don't know who he is. I don't know what the actor is. I never heard of the guy. But apparently they were trying to go for a meta version of the Matrix. They were basically. I always thought that the whole reason why. The Matrix 4 was going to be in the Paradise Matrix, but no, actually, it's a Matrix that's supposed to be like our society. So, like, they have I think some of the toys from the original trilogy game when the trilogies were out. They had I guess McFarlane toy versions of Trinity and what have you, like little figurines that you'd put on your desk.
Right.
And apparently, the Matrix did exist, and that the knowledge of the Matrix and the concept of the Matrix existed in that film, and they even had the thing that pissed me off is that instead of having Hugo Weaving be the bad guy, they made the worst decision, and they made they replaced the guy who played the architect with a guy called the analyst, and the guy who was the analyst was played by Neil Patrick Harris. So we went from the guy who literally looked like the mastermind at the end of every fucking D&D campaign You know, the guy with all those little monitors,
Right?
Yeah, and now we swapped them with the guy from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
No, you swapped him with How I Met Your Mother. You saw again, and his main trick is basically, oh, I invented bullet time in the Matrix. They actually call it bullet time, and so somehow, you know, Neo can't fight against bullet time within the Matrix. When the Matrix replicates bullet time, he can't, you know, move faster than it, which just breaks the whole reason. Like it was just a shitty film. It really was, and it didn't, like, again, it raised more questions than it did answers. It wasn't a bad film entirely, but it just didn't make any sense.
It didn't need to exist.
It didn't need to exist, exactly. What could have happened, and again, how I would have written it, is I would have had the same setup, but, you know, I guess the issue would be somebody has to go find Neo, and it should have been, they should have shown Neo at like the second, like they should have done the Last Jedi essentially. They should have had Neo appear in the very last part of the film, but they didn't. And honestly, like, the continuity is all over the place in that film. So I've actually regret buying not buying it on HBO, but buying HBO Max with membership so I can fucking watch it. But I'll tell you this, it could have been worse, because, you know, you could be still going through Jack Murphy stuff. Those writers
are onto something.
Those writers are onto something. They know the truth between our sexes lies in the inescapable reality that women wish to submit to worthy men, and men of all walks wish to have a submissive woman. Those writers know if women embrace violent sex and submission first in the confines of the bedroom, it could very well spread to the remainder of the house, like the kitchen, for example. And they can't have that happening. No, they must keep the shroud over their eyes of their fellow women, shaming them into thinking submission is wrong, telling them that men who want to dominate you are evil,
perpetuating not only their...
Perpetuating, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. Alcohol's getting to my head. Perpetuating not only their fear-based misandry, but creating miserable sexual beings deprived of their very nature. Where are the Caitlyn Jenners out there who is brave enough to admit that they are submissive, trapped in a web of artificial mores and what is it? Mores and
expectations?
I guess it's norms and expectations.
Mores and expectations.
Yeah. Fucking get copy editor, Jackie. That force them to be dominant. Who will be brave enough to step forth and accept who the reality are? Who they really are. The suffering has gone on long enough. Stay tuned here.
What does that have to do with? What does any of that have to do with rape?
For my forthcoming feminist rehabilitation program, which will provide clear directions on how to save feminists from themselves via rape and degradation.
What does that have to do with anything you just said? That last paragraph might have made some sense, although part of me wants to say he's actually a Muslim imam.
If you liked what you hear, please follow me on Twitter at Jack Murphy Live. Tell me how sick I am in the comments below. Okay. And of course, Jack Murphy answers every fucking thing. Now, there were certain things that he said here, if I could find it. I think there was one where he said he actually pimped out his girlfriend. Like, he actually talked about pimping out his wife for money.
Oh, what? His wife?
You don't know where he's been.
What is this? What are you talking about?
Luke, you poor creature. No, I can't make fun of you for that long. Here we go. We'll go on to another article, because there was another one that people found, because people are going through his shit.
I mean, since you have the archive, I can't imagine it'd be hard to scope through some of this.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. So keep reading.
Let's see, where are we? Red Pill in Love, Part 2, is that it?
Yep.
How to cultivate and manage love relationships and why. Let's see, Red Pill, In Red Pill Part 1, click here, I examined why today's fully realized man should seek long-term love relationships. Not only do they return more overall lifetime utility and provide for the deepest explorations of sex and intimacy, they offer a man the chance to reach his highest and best use as a patriarch of an establishment, successful family. Being the head of the table surrounded by those you love and support, it is a uniquely satisfying feeling, only found as father and leader. Even if being a dad isn't on your radar, long-term love relationships offer the best chance for supporting a successful life, a life which can be on your terms, with your mission as the primary goal. Like all good things, work and effort are required to successfully bring love into your life. Optimizing relationships for success takes advanced planning along with frequent monitoring. Complementing this with a development set of skills will increase your odds of success. Okay, this sounds reasonably okay so far. So far, okay. Make no mistake, entering into relationships today can be risky and dangerous. Many think the risk-reward relationship has shifted too far in the wrong direction, resulting in the rational choice being abstaining from marriage, long-term girlfriends, or love in general, much less choosing either to reproduce with someone. No-fault divorce, the chance of losing your kids and your money, and being tied to a woman you hate is a real possibility. Entering into a relationship with risks like these while you're not at your maximum best is a mistake. This applies to long-term relationships without marriage as well. They take plenty of time and energy investment, even without the legal entanglements, not to mention the emotional risk of being vulnerable and open. Okay. The risk and downsides are high either way, any way you look at it. However, I'm here to tell you I think we can both improve your negotiating position and shift the odds in your favor with planning, foresight, and developing actual relationship skills designed to meet our needs as men in particular. I don't mean sham skills meant to subdue as further to the main feminine imperative either. Tropes such as, quote, happy wife, happy life, or women know best aren't what I'm talking about. I mean goal-oriented, male-focused, red pill advice for relationships. Advice for men about love. Three key steps. Okay, here we go. Number one, maximize your value. Okay, am I missing something, or is there something good here?
It looks like there's nothing good. I think I might have gotten the wrong article. Give me 1 second. Because, again, here's the thing about Jack. Again, we already know he's a cuck. He already talked about cucking someone. But the thing that I was looking for, and this is actually something that I found on the other article. Let's see if I can find it here. Alrighty. Here it is. This is back to the original article, the cuck article in question. He talks about pimping. Here we go. And this is from Dr. Mayhem. If you scroll down to the comments, see if I can find it here. Okay. This looks like a troll. PUA and cuckold. No, makes no sense. If this was a troll, then you seem to be suffering from the symptoms of having low T. The only way a cuck can be any form of alpha is if he's a pimp and getting paid for men to fuck his girls. Jack Murphy responds because of course he fucking does. Why the hell wouldn't he? Because that's what he does. My T levels are around 13,000 to 15,000 per blood work. Sometimes it just says 15,000. 200 milligram test prop per week. Sometimes a little extra tran and master tone testosterone, I assume. That's what it says. Again, copy here. No need for AI. I have pimped her out before for money. Yes, that is a topic for another post, however.
Where is this?
Luke wants to know.
What is this?
This is from the original article. This is from the original article.
Feminists Need Rape article? Or what is this? From the original article. Oh, right,
yep.
Right.
Yep.
And this is in the comments section, I'm assuming. Oh, yeah, cultivating, yeah, the Cuck article.
You just go down, you scroll down to the freaking articles. He's talking about pimping his wife out, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy is, again, Slanesh is powerful here. Jesus Christ.
Yeesh.
Shit. My wife is the pilot, and I am the co-pilot, Triple X says. Midi Hit says, I just watched the episodes of Hoarders with a lady who pooped and peed in bottles, also dumped waste in her front yard. Truly Ugh.
My T-level... Oh, I have... Wait. No need for AI. I have pimped her out before for money. Yes, thanks for topic for another time, however. Was this the girlfriend?
He was pimping his wife out, yeah.
Wait, the girlfriend in the article?
Yeah, the girlfriend in the article. He pimped out his girlfriend.
And that became his wife?
Yeah, he apparently pimped out his woman for money.
No.
Like...
Oh, wow. I mean, I couldn't invent a supervillain more depraved.
Jeez, for all I know, it's all bullshit. For all I know, he's a virgin. He's never gotten laid in his life. No, real talk. I mean, he's talking like the stuff that he is saying. Like I got my
oh,
my
Dr. Mayhem.
tested.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh well, if you're making money from it, that's a whole other matter. Still filthy degeneracy, but at least you're getting paid.
Oh my God. Jack Murphy must have comparative T levels with Jack Donovan. I don't know. Is Jack Donovan considered, high T or low T? I know he's a Satanist fuck. I know that about Jack Donovan, but even then, I have a Bulbasaur friend who's friends with Jack, so I don't know if I should bash Jack Donovan just because he made a few deals with the devil, let's say. Triple X Undead Chronic had the best material on Jack Murphy. In fact, it's his fans trolling that set him off. Dude, awesome. Go after him. Because this cuck needs to be hunted down. Because here's the thing. You can take the off Slanesh, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. Even Ralph was even hunting him down. Even Ralph was fucking going after Jack Murphy. And the thing that just boggles my mind about this is that Tim Pool, of all people, you think Tim Pool would have went after Jack, and they could have had a sit down and have like a little R&R chat, but they didn't. Again, Tim Pool protected him, and Tim Pool's like, if we went after every single person who said something stupid 10 years ago, we wouldn't have any allies. I'm like, fuck this shit. This guy's the guy who would pimp out his wife. This is the guy who would sleep with. He's a cuck. Cucks.
That's the kindest thing you could describe him as. He's a complete psychotic degenerate.
Yeah, he is.
Or if he was, but the thing is, he's not going to say that he's not anymore.
Yeah. And the thing that's so fucking upsetting about this whole thing is that there are people out there who they're going to continuously defend him. Why are they going to continuously defend him?
Because he's one of theirs, I guess.
Yeah. He's one of theirs, yeah. Well, we got another follower on DLive. Evacuates. Hey, how you doing? What's up? I'm doing fairly well, man. It's good that you're out there. Thank you, man. Welcome to the Renegade podcast, man. Welcome. Got someone on DLive. I checked it. That's awesome. No, but besides the whole Cuck Tales with Jack Murphy, which we're gonna see more of it, because again, I believe that the whole Tim Cast crew are fucking degenerates. I believe that all of them are very on par with, how she say it, that guy with the glasses crowd. I think that's the best way to describe them, because they haven't really broken any laws. I mean, although if it is to be true that Jack Murphy sold his wife for money, or sold him down his wife for money,
what?
How much do you think? That's what he said in this freaking article. He pimped out his wife for money. He said he pimped out his wife for money. Didn't you? We just read it, dude.
Yeah, I'd rather not remember that.
It just happened. But one of the things that got me, and I sent this to you, Luke. Here you go. This, you can scroll up. This is from this is not from Jack Murphy, but this is from I guess it's Ian Crossland's ex. I guess it is. It gives you more of an idea of what the hell is going on. It's basically a thread me talking about, Jack Murphy being a spiritual leftist pig that he is. And yeah, spiritual leftism is a thing. Politics is downstream from culture, but guess what? What's downstream from cult? What's downstream from culture? or what's upstream from culture, I should say. Religion and cultural norms and values. That's what's above it.
Yeah.
Morality.
Since we're always going to bring Tim Pool up, we can always play this.
Yep.
Hello, I'm a nostalgia critic. I remember it, so you don't have to.
Oh, jeez. Does he practice sacred prostitution? Maybe he does. Maybe that sounds like. I mean, we already know he's doing the tantric yoga. We already know that he talks about fucking a chick and cucking himself out and saying that's a manifestation of his will. His words, not mine. He's talking about that type of crap.
His she's an expression of his will. His will.
His will. Not my will, not the cuck's will, not Matt from
Not even the
Tinder.
girl's will.
His will.
Not the girl's will. His will.
Yeah. It's horrible. I mean, how is that even? Again, how do these people get to the top? But the reason why I keep talking about this guy, it's not because I want clicks, not because it's popular. It's because he's arrogant about it. He thinks he's uncancelable. Now, I'll just say it right now. I'm not someone who will go after. I don't think I'm the guy who will bring him down. Undead Chronic seems to be doing a good job according to what the chat says. Ethan Ralph was doing a better job than I ever could. He has more of a followers, so I mean that he has more manpower, let's say. But I'll tell you this, Tim Pool was protecting him, and I think I know why. I sent you the link, Luke. You can put it on screen.
What's this?
It's basically me talking to Ian Crossland's ex-girlfriend. And basically I tell her all about the whole tantric yoga crap and let's see. I just reading this makes my pussy dry, she says. I haven't had sex since July, so that's saying something. He just seems like a toxic male who clearly fantasizes about men but isn't gay. Again, this is what she's saying. I can see why he was in a sexless marriage, because what woman would want in her right mind would be with that? And I said, well, yeah. Well, your first clue was the whole tantric yoga. He says, oh, what are the odds? This is where it gets interesting. What are the odds? So was my man, lol. I should be forthcoming because you may not have lurked me hard enough, and I don't want to mislead you. I am spiritual, and I voted left. Tim and I go way back and always respected each other's world views. And I'm also not what you think of as spiritual left. And I should send her the link of what spiritual left and spiritual right is. And this is somebody. So I don't know if this is Ian Crossland's girlfriend or if this is Tim Pool's girlfriend, just by reading that. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if everyone's getting fucked over there. I mean, let's be frank. What happens with the whole Mouse Utopia experiment? Right? What happened with that? We basically made it so that the mice had no natural predators, and Tim has no natural predators. He doesn't. I mean, he literally has all the money in the world. He has his own place. He's basically won the game of life. So what else is there to do besides to have great sex? Holy shit, that blew my mind. I'm definitely not a spiritual leftist then. Though I am a spiritual and I voted left, I'm definitely spiritual right, which, by the way, there's no such thing. And she thinks she's Sandra Bullock from Practical Magic. Now, I don't know why are you Googling Sandra Bullock? Oh, boy.
I never heard of. I don't remember this movie.
I never seen the movie either. I don't watch Sandra Bullock. I mean, all I know is she basically is a victim in every film that she's in.
Oh, it's Miss Congeniality. That's what that is.
Oh, yeah. Undead Chronic also shat on Tim Pool for being a pussy and letting some of the woke rapper shit on him. Yet, the woke. You know why he helped? You know why he let the woke rapper talk shit to him? You want to know why that happened? It's because he wanted to have contact with Hollywood rappers. Tim Pool is one of the establishment now, ladies and gentlemen. And the fact that he has all these, let me just say this: Crowder, Tim Pool, they're establishment now. And I sent her the link to the whole satanic neo-Nazi shit before. And this is the one that got me. So one of my gifts is sensing energy. And let me tell you, the energy that man gave off, which, by the way, is just glamour, by the way. Let's just say I only watched 5 minutes before I had to pause. But I'll still finish, which, again, So far, fascinating thus far. Dude is batshit insane though. Lol. Yeah, she's one of those type of ditzy fucking people who probably thinks that the aborted fetuses she has are ghosties now. I'm not kidding. I knew a girl who thought that her kids were with her in like spiritual form, her abortions. I'm not kidding, and that's not trolling. Oh God. Anyhow, yeah, and that's just some shill online. But that's what we have to deal with. That's what we're dealing with now, ladies and gentlemen. We're dealing with people who, it's either Tim Pool or Ian Crossland. And based on what I can say, Ian Crossland, this is Ian Crossland's baby mama. So there is that. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to something completely different. We're going to move on to this creature that I discovered. I found the one leftist that is considered a gun enthusiast, a leftist gun enthusiast. They exist. Oh, it exists. But let me just say this: there are many things that we've talked about on this show about how there's a fusion between certain people. Well, this is a fusion between Garand Thumb and ContraPoints, or Contra. Is it ContraPoints?
I think it's Contra.
Yeah, so Contra. Well, it definitely is Contra, the Alien Wars, because this creature, this thing. Now, this is a trap, by the way. This is a trap.
Will I be able to tell from appearance?
Yes.
Greetings, Luz. It is I, Tactical Girlfriend. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's doing well.
Well, he hides it well enough.
Well,
Well, the shoulders are kind of a giveaway, though.
The shoulder, yeah.
Just barely, though.
But it's basically it's ContraPoints mixed with Garand Thumb. And again, I'm actually surprised this was recommended to me. Now, I don't know whether I should support them or I should gatekeep. Because somebody tells me if I gatekeep, it's going to shoot its way through.
With already 38,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, we've had more gun owners in the last year and a half. I mean, it's getting to the point where California might very well become... You might very well have an opportunity to own a gun that's actually functional in California now. That isn't going to have all those assault weapon ban bullshit. And believe me, when that happens, sell your shit guns, guys. Sell the guns you don't want. Californians will buy them. You'll make rent. Guarantee you. Keep playing.
These days, ammunition is still fairly expensive. Prices are kind of going down a little bit, but not very much. It's quite an investment, as always, to get into very large quantities of ammo, and that's all the more reason to make sure that your ammunition is properly stored and protected. So keep that investment.
Bulldozer 69, thank you for the follow on DLive. Thank you. Keep moving.
Got it. Now, a lot of you are probably keeping your ammo in its original packaging, just stashed away on a shelf or in a box somewhere, and you forget about it for a little bit. That's perfectly okay if we're talking about using the stuff within the next few months. That kind of short-term storage doesn't need much more other than fairly stable temperatures and not huge amounts of water just soaking into the packaging. As long as you avoid any sort of weird catastrophic event like that, this is a perfectly reasonable and okay way to go. I also want to add that a little bit of prep work is really pertinent for going to the range. If you're not keeping your ammo in a tin of some sort and you have it sitting in your backpack all loose and you run into some rain and that gets your backpack wet, that seeps through, gets the cardboard wet, the cardboard disintegrates, and the ammo just gets loose and also wet. That's no good. It's a huge mess. It may actually affect whether your ammo works or not, and that's a huge waste. So make sure that you actually get your ammo put into some Ziploc baggies.
Let me just say this about what she's saying. What she's saying is not wrong, or it's saying, I should say. God, fucking this whole. If it isn't the lighting, it isn't the neon lighting. It's this. It's something else. This critter. This thing is. It's not wrong what it's talking about, and maybe this will be the thing. Maybe this tactical girl GF, whatever you want to call her, will make a man out of you. Maybe it'll be like a Mulan sort of joke. I don't know, but I followed her on Instagram. I keep an eye on this one because we get such talks as today is Trans Day Remembrance, when we mourn trans folks who have been senselessly murdered in 2021 marks the deadliest year for transgender people to date. I hate to say it, it's likely to get worse before it gets better, but no one should have to carry that kind of fear buried deep within them. Mourn the fallen, fight like hell for the living. Learn to equip yourself with practical defensive knowledge and spread it to others. We keep each other safe. So this is a transgendered individual, by the way. So just put that out there. Keep going.
I keep hearing that claim that transgenders are always discriminated and killed against, but where are they getting these numbers from?
I don't know. Their ass, I guess. Maybe.
Let's see. All right.
Parcel them out however you need to, and then stick them in your backpack. Now, with long-term storage of ammo, things can get a bit more complicated. The first consideration is making sure that you're choosing an appropriate kind of ammunition for long-term storage. Things like steel case rounds are not really good unless they're lacquered. Their steel itself does invite corrosion. That in turn can cause failures to feed and cycling issues. Also, their primers can invite moisture into the primer.
Why is he wearing a mask?
Because it's a transgender and the coof is real in this timeline.
But it's on a video.
Because because they can't afford a balaclava.
Are they not?
Balaclava.
Is it not social distancing?
Maybe it is.
So why does it need a mask? Is it not vaccinated?
Maybe it's because it's part of like the dude. She's operating. Don't bother her. Okay. Don't bother. It's gonna get a. Well, she's gonna be the next starter pack in the next Modern Warfare. So just let her do her thing. She's trying to do the ghost thing.
And a powder, thereby compromising those. On the other hand, brass case ammo reduces the chances of getting any corrosion whatsoever, making sure that you have a very reliably cycling round and that things just continue to work. Also, making sure that your primer is sealed, indicated by the colored seal around the primer, can reduce the chances of moisture ever compromising any of the combustible internals of your round. It is really good to know that ammo properly stored away can actually last for a very long time. We're talking decades, even more than 50 years. You can be shooting ancient rounds, and so long as that they were properly stowed away, they should be able to cycle and fire reliably every time. Make sure that you're keeping your ammo stored at a fairly stable temperature. Usually room temperature or a little bit cooler is good. Avoid any extremes, of course, and make sure that it's stored in a very dry place or a very dry manner. Avoid any humidity fluctuations, and if you do these two things, your ammo should last you for a very good long while. If you're keeping your ammo around for a while, you definitely want to make sure it's stored in an airtight container. You don't want to.
Where's the lie?
Loosey.
Where's the lie? There is no lie. I mean, but I will say this. I think that we're going to start seeing actual like armed conflict soon when it comes to some of these transgender SJW types. I think that we're slowly getting. These zombies are evolving into such a way that they're going to eventually become other forms of undead. In this case, we're going to see revenants. Zombie assassins.
What is this image you have sent me?
Well, today this is a post back in June 28th. This is what we're dealing with. Okay, so like I said, combination of Grantham and ContraPoints. Read it, Luke.
Today marks the 52nd anniversary of the Stonewall riots. I want to thank the heroes of yesterday, especially Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivia, for fighting for the better future. Just remember that this fight never ends. We protect us. Wishing you all very joyful pride.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, we now have LGBTWXYZ in a silent Q and a Batman symbol in the gun community. Now, the question then becomes, what's the next step? Do you think they're going to start boycotting Brownells because they have too many white men? Or maybe they're going to start calling Iraq veteran 8888, a misogynist. Like, real talk. Like, I'll tell you this. I don't know if this will be the hell to die on, but I'd imagine it would be. Because I don't know whether we should be encouraging them or whether we should be, saying, no, your politics should not be, we should gatekeep, I guess that's the question, right? Should we gatekeep these people or should we just leave them to their own devices? But, they're not wrong. And I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that, everybody's prepping for war, for the next stage of the culture war. I think it's time that you guys do also. So that being said, we're going to move on to something to something a little bit more lighthearted.
In light of the phrases, in the phrase, what'd she say? Especially, but remember the fight, it never ends. That reminds you of this little clip from Distributist.
Oh boy.
And the concept seems to horrify the younger people that are swept up into the movement itself. In our modern age, the problem of aging gracefully is quite persistent, but how much more vexing is it for individuals who have dedicated themselves to revolutionary movements all about deconstructing and removing the old ways? I remember once when seeing a video of the two Hitchens brothers together, both Peter and Christopher, that Christopher, as stylish as he was, didn't really seem like a man who had a plan on how to be old. Unlike his brother Peter, Christopher had arrived in his middle age with a young man's philosophy and a young man's demeanor, casting about as always for new ideas. Perhaps this affectation was a carryover from his early days as a Trotskyist. Certainly, whatever external philosophy Christopher Hitchens embraced at the moment, he was ever a believer in the eternal revolution, both of fashion and politics, and to his credit, during his life, he was always able to stay one step ahead of it. Perhaps this fact makes Christopher Hitchens...
But the point is that eventually the revolution goes on forever and eventually eats the old.
Yes, it does.
And it eats everybody, starting with the old.
And, you know, again, I've talked about how we don't want neo-pagans having access to technology. And we don't want people like Styx getting access to technology, because then they'll be really, really powerful. We don't want SJWs getting access to guns, because then they'll actually be able to carry out their vendettas against people. Like, seriously, think about this. Who is the one who doxes people? It's the left, right? The right never really doxes anybody, and if they do, they oftentimes are, protected from it. Well, imagine what would happen if someone doxed someone you don't know about until they show up with a fucking Mark 18 at your fucking door. Or they just show up behind you and you drive in and then they shoot you with they have nods on. That's a possibility when you start giving guns to the tranny and the mentally ill. And I'll tell you, as somebody who is pro mental health, or not even pro mental health, but skeptical of it at least. These people, I just don't trust them. I don't trust these people for the life of me. I don't. If between Mercedes Carrera and Jack Murphy and then the Tactical Girlfriend, I think anybody who is not of the norm should probably be skeptical. You should be skeptical of them. These people they're not your friends. They're like, to be united. I think to quote Kreia from, I would say, Knights of the Old Republic too. To be united by hatred is a fragile alliance indeed. And with that, Luke, are there any final thoughts?
Just one, I guess.
Are you really?
Oh wait, no, that's not it.
Quit being such a beta, Russia.
Indeed. And on top of that, besides being a beta Russia, let's just say, let's go Brandon. And including this one right here, Luke. Play it. Play us out.
I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Well, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, buddy.
They're like old people. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care of one another. Be good to one another. Remember, saving the West is a side quest. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Renegade Podcast out.